Hello, boys and girls of YouTube. Yeah, I know it's been a while. Let me just say that, sometimes life gets in the way of expensive hobbies, and that's what happened to me. So, for the last several years, I have not really even touched this car. I hate to say it, but it's true. But that may be behind me, and my adventures in Drag Week may continue this year, maybe not. But anyway, this is really going to be an update video to remind everybody where I'm at, all the problems I've had up until this point, hopefully what the future plans will be, and going from there. But anyway, so let me start with an update. As you can see, like half the motor's ripped apart, valve covers are off, wires are not connected. And the reason for all that was, God, I don't remember what the hell year it was. In 2020? Yeah, I'm going to go with 2020. No, 2021. I apologize. 2021, I was trying to get this car ready for Drag Week. And I had just gotten a couple bugs worked out. I had a pretty big vacuum leak underneath the manifold. I wasn't using the right gaskets I really need for this motor and head setup. The thicker Felpro gaskets, I think the model is 1266. Don't quote me if you want to know for a fact what they are. Write in the comment and I'll get you the part number. But really, it's a double thick gasket, and I need that to seal the manifold to the cylinder head. Without it, it definitely has a big vacuum leak under the manifold, and it was definitely throwing some boost into the bottom end, which was then spilling oil out the back seal of the manifold because it wasn't quite sitting right. Long story, but I knew that was a problem. I fixed it and put everything back together, started the motor back up, and everything was fine. I was starting to, get the fuel injection tuned up, run it. Well, one day when I was actually just looking at the car, I had noticed that there was actually, I don't know if you can see it, I don't want to zoom in, but right behind this blue plug, there's the bolt. Yeah, lighting's terrible. Bolt, holds the manifold down. So there and a little bit on the front, I saw some water. And I'm thinking, that's interesting. So believe it or not, where I live in the garage is not like temperature controlled or anything. This material for the blower actually does get colder than the air around it, so it does create a little bit of condensation sometimes. Yeah, not the best. Maybe I should, seal the garage better or whatever. But it had a little puddle of water. I'm thinking, well, that's weird. So I cleaned it up, did what I was going to do that day. Went back to the house, came back the next day and it was still there. And I'm thinking, well, there's no way the condensation off the blower could have built up that much liquid and dripped down in the one day. I didn't see any condensation on the blower, so I'm thinking something else is wrong. So I'm looking around, I'm looking for leaks in the pipes above the car. I'm going crazy. So for whatever reason, one day I went to pop off the radiator cap. The car hasn't started for days at this point. So I popped off the radiator cap and the coolant system was still under massive pressure. When I popped off the thing, fluid blew up on my face. So I'm like, well, now I know why it's leaking through the bolt. And to do that, that's a lot of pressure. So obviously there's only two things that can be wrong. No, basically two things. Something with the gasket to the cylinder head, basically either that's blown, or you've got a crack in the cylinder head. So now I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm not going to make Drag Week this time once again. So now I was very disappointed, upset. Then life happened, like I mentioned, and this project sat. Sat so long that I even forgot where the hell I left it until I came back out here and decided to at least find out what's really the problem. So started taking some stuff off, took the valve cover off. And the reason why I took the valve cover off is because I got to pull the cylinder heads and I got to see if I can actually get the cylinder heads off without pulling the motor, but I don't think I'm going to be able to on this side. There's head studs. I can take the head studs out, but still I think lifting it up enough and moving it forward, actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I can. But either way, I think I'm still going to pull the motor. I'm still undecided, but I think I'm going to pull it because I got to do two things. One, when I take the cylinder heads off, obviously I got to get the cylinder heads pressure tested to make sure there's no cracks in them. But one thing you also want to do is make sure that the deck of the cylinder head, where the cylinder head meets up to the block, is flat. So that's a lot easier to do with the motor on a stand. So I'll probably be pulling the motor. So in the next few weeks, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm really hoping when I pull this out, it does the head gasket blue, because I'm only using the better performance Fel-Pro gaskets, but they're not MLS gaskets, and they're only good for up to about 9 pounds of boost. So I know when I had the vacuum leak, not that the motor revved up that much or built up that much boost. It shouldn't have. It only was revving up with the vacuum leak. It was revving up to 4,000 RPMs, and I couldn't figure out why. I was plugging all the vacuum hoses, but anyway, finally, like I mentioned, I figured out what that was, and I got the right gaskets on, started up, had the pressure and the cooling system. But anyway, back to where I'm at now. So I'm gonna pull the motor. I'm gonna get the heads pressure tested. I'm gonna make sure that the deck of the block is flat. I'm also going to see if I can get a tool to tell me what the RA, which is the smoothness basically of the surface that the head would sit on with the gasket, and then make sure that the RA is good enough for MLS gaskets. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. I didn't originally want to go with them because if there are any tuning problems with the injection, because I'm not super advanced at tuning, but at this point I'll pay somebody to do it, get this set up to do what I need it to do. But anyway, when you're using an MLS gasket, the weak point at that point is not the gasket anymore. I was using other gaskets that they had a problem, the gasket would blow, opposed to the aluminum in the cylinder head when you start torching cylinder heads. These cylinder heads, I'm not, I wish I would love to say I made money, but I'm definitely not. And these things have gotten expensive since I purchased them. When I purchased these cylinder heads, they were still, I think, at a deal. I think I got them at $1,600. Now they're like $2,300. I couldn't afford to even replace one of them at this point. So yeah, you can fix them, but I guess that's what I have to do if I pull this head off and there's actually a problem with that. But I'm thinking the gasket is really, I'm hoping the gasket's the problem. But if it is a cracked cylinder head, again, it is aluminum. You can fix it. Just who knows what it's really going to take. I'll find out. But anyway, this is just the update to let you know that I'm going to try to get this thing up and running again. I got to pull the motor. I got to take the cylinder heads off and obviously take them in, get them checked out. I'm going to take a look at the block, make sure it's flat. That's really where I'm at. So I know it's been a while, so this is just an update where I'm at. I know. Yeah, I just know. All right. So more to come, hopefully. That's a plan. I already have a lot of stuff I need to put this motor back together. But first I have to make sure it's good. So I know I rambled for 10 minutes, so hopefully this is me actually coming back. And we'll continue this journey together if you want to watch. So, thanks a lot. Do appreciate it. There'll be more action, I'm sure, in the future. See me, doing a little more work than just talking. But again, this is just an update. Thanks. Have a great day.